Hi everyone, this is D Keys, bringing you an Elementalist's guide to the Thaumanova Reactor Fractal. First, you must make your way up to a group of script causing trouble on the second floor. Stack might while the NPC is still talking, hit the detonator, and kill the portal and the enemies spawning from it. For all the portals of this fractal, you want to focus that first as opposed to the enemies because it will just spawn more enemies. You can either use the stairs to get up to the second floor and clear more portals along the way, or have a mesmer portal you up. If a mesmer is portaling you, stack might while they get in position. Once on the second floor, clear any enemies that spawn, as well as any portals. You must clear the script in order to advance the fractal, and you should clear the portals so that they don't pull you into the hazardous material below. Once the script have been cleared, proceed north, clearing out any portals that you encounter along the way. You can skip some of the portals along the exterior edge of this fractal if you jump across the corners instead of walking through the centers. If you do spawn a portal, focus the portal first and then focus the adds. While both dagger focus and scepter hammer setups work very well for most of this fractal, I would recommend using a lightning hammer for subject 6. I would not recommend Glyph of Elementals or Fiery Greatsword for this boss, because you'll have very little control over how many attacks those elites do if he happens to block. Stack might while the NPC is talking, and conjure your lightning hammer near the NPC, since that's where subject 6 will spawn. Stand at 6's back to avoid its auto attacks, and allow yourself to be hit by the stomps. Sidestep the AoEs. When you see blue oozes nearby, chain Lightning Hammer 5 with other party CCs to prevent them from healing Subject 6 when they get close. If 6 blocks and has no stacks of Defiance, a party mate can CC it so you can continue DPS. Otherwise, hold DPS until the channel is finished. Once 6 is defeated, disable the Collider and grab the Cooling Rod. Then proceed clockwise around the reactor to the next room, clearing out any portals and mobs you encounter along the way. In this next room, you must rescue 4 Asura that are trapped in their labs. Have each person take a door and break it down as quickly as possible. Once all the Asura have been rescued, the north door will open, enabling you to disable this collider and grab the cooling rod for this room. As an Elementalist, skills that typically do well against large structures do well in this part of the fractal. I would recommend equipping a Frostbow and using Frostbow 4 to quickly burst down a door. Glyph of Storms and Air Attunement, Burning Speed, and Burning Retreat are also decent options to burst down a door quickly. Once that room has been cleared, proceed clockwise again to the southernmost room of this fractal. In this last room, there are a series of corridors filled with lasers that will cause knockback and deal hefty damage, as well as golems that patrol the hallways. The shields provided at the beginning of this room will absorb the projectiles from the lasers if you use the 1 skill, and will shoot that projectile out at a target if you use the 2 skill once you've absorbed a charge. If you use the 1 skill on the shield too much, though, you will get an overheated debuff on you that will deal damage over time. In this room, there is 1 switch in the southeastern corner, 2 switches in the south central area that I'm at, and 1 switch in the western area that can be reached by hugging the right wall. Since the switches in this room require only 3 people to clear, you can send 2 of your party mates on to the reactor core to start putting in the cooling rods. In addition to using a shield, I would recommend Dagger Focus for a weapon set and taking Mist Form as a stun break. You can dodge, use Obsidian Flesh, and use Mist Form through the lasers. If you encounter a golem, you can use Swirling Winds against their projectile attacks, and use Obsidian Flesh to be invulnerable to their knockback. If taking the 2 switches at the south central part of the room, use Magnetic Wave or Cleansing Fire to get rid of the immobilize that the switch will put on you. The reactor room is pretty miserable on an Elementalist, as both Obsidian Flesh and Mist Form don't do nearly as much as one would like. Instead, I would recommend using a staff and using Air 4 and 5, as well as Blast Finishers to stack Swiftness, and Water 5 to stack Regen on your party mates as they run in rods and finish the room. In this recording, a Thief soloed the first rod, which an Elementalist could also solo using Lightning Flash. A Warrior soloed the second rod, and then the Mesmer put down a portal so that the party could reach the switches on the far side of the room without putting in the third rod. However, a Warrior Norn could also solo this event using bare form. Once that room is cleared, you can run straight to the panel in the center of the room where the script were earlier. For the battle with the anomaly, I would recommend a DPS setup, either Scepter Hammer or Dagger Focus, with Frostbow. Stack Might when all of your party members are on the platform, and drop your Frostbow for another party member to pick up. Have someone pull aggro and stand far away from the rest of your party so that the platforms are safe on your side. Use Frostbow 4 and 3, drop, and then proceed with a DPS rotation. If the platform under you starts to blink, move onto a solid platform away from your party. If that one also blinks, keep away from your party until the debuff runs off. Then resume meleeing. The anomaly has melee as well as ranged attacks, so chain Swirling Winds, if available, with other party reflects. He will also apply Cripple, so be ready to use Magnetic Wave or other condition removal to get rid of it. And that's it for the Reactor Fractal. Thanks for watching!